Hello everybody and welcome to Homestead Living Alaska. Today is going to be a video of starting to get ready for winter. It is my guess that in about 60 days we will have our first snowfall. That is what happened last year, and if you don't believe me, look back on one of our videos. It was the video Cold Weather at Our Cabin, and the thumbnail I think was Alaska Winter Chores, and that was posted October 15th. So if you need your proof, go back and watch one of our old videos. We literally, that video, woke up and our entire property, I think, got 1 inch to 3 inches of snow overnight. I actually had some laundry out on my line and it was completely stiff, and I showed the stiff factor of the laundry. So it was a complete wake up and everything was white. So at about 60 days out, mentally, I start making preparations, and I'm going to share those with you today. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing today is walking around and kind of taking inventory of projects and supplies that need to be brought to my attention. And everybody will probably get ready in different ways depending on how you live and what your situation is. So our situation, if you are new to our channel, we are a family of 6. We live off-grid in the wilderness of Alaska, and we are carving out our little homestead from scratch. So basically, when we bought this land, there was nothing but trees on it. Alright, so the first thing we are going to be doing is heading down to our lower potato garden, and I'm going to show you guys the potato garden and what we need to harvest before winter sets. I'm going to wheel down there and Harley is going to be walking. I am scared of bears and he is not. That's the difference. Alright, so let's get on the wheeler and we're going to head on down to the lower garden. It's so tall with grass, you just can't see how close a bear would be. So it's definitely a little bit unnerving, let's say. Alright, so some of you might be asking, why did you plant your potato garden so far away? Because it's on a sloped hill and this area we picked is very fertile and there's no stumps or trees in the way. There's no stumps or trees, and there was just no room up top for a huge potato garden. So that is why. So let's go check it out. So let's go on up here and see what the potatoes look like. Oh, they look really good. So they're not quite ready to harvest yet. They're still nice and green. And once these turn yellow and kind of start to die off and fold over, then it is time for harvest. All right, so the other chore before winter is to harvest our potato garden before the first frost. All right, so behind me there, we do have a mix of potatoes. We did some big white baking potatoes. We did some red potatoes, some fingerlings, and a type of a Yukon gold potato as well. So we did quite a variety of potatoes. So once it comes time for a harvest, I will be sure to do a video so you guys can see what they look like. We have a family of 6, so we are a huge fan of potatoes. You know, potatoes are great. They're versatile. You can use them for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and you can do many, many, many things with potatoes. One of our favorite things to do with potatoes is scallop potatoes. The kids also like homemade French fries as well. Hudson also likes a good old just plain baked potato. Either way, last year I think we got a harvest of about 300 pounds from this garden behind me. This year I'm hoping for at least 500 to 600 pounds, so I'm going to be crossing my fingers. Let's go back on up and I'm going to show you guys another chore that needs to get done before snowfall. All right, so we're going to head to the Shelter Logic. We have been completely happy with our Shelter Logic. It is, I think it's a 13 by 20. Now it did kind of go through the ringer last winter and had a lot of snow on it. So the kids and I and Jeff had to take snow off constantly through last winter. It does have some rough spots. It has some little holes, and I need to evaluate how big the holes are and how many we've got, because I need to get those patched pretty soon. So let's head to the Shelter Logic and I'll show you around. Okay, so from the outside it's looking pretty good. Let's go on the inside here. And this is great. It's a nice sunny day, so I'll show you guys. So there's a hole there. There's 1, 2, a third there, and everything looks pretty good all the way to the top. Then we come to the other side. I've got 4. And this is just my inside visual inspection. I will go outside as well. So now we're going to do another inspection here on the side. And it looks like that there was patched last time. That's still patched pretty good there. There's another one there. That's not too horrible. Patch there. So I want to check that once I have a ladder. All right, so I'd say multiple little blemishes here on the outside that I definitely need to patch down there as well. Okay. All right, guys, and another thing too that is on our list, we'll be pulling these stumps. I'm going to kind of pan around here. We are required by the state of Alaska, because it is agricultural land, to clear 16 acres of land. So as part of our requirements, we are renting an excavator. I think it is September 5th, hopefully for 2 to 3 days. We will be pulling these stumps out and working on meeting our requirements for the state of Alaska. Our goal also in this cleared space once we pull the stumps is to hopefully get some 30 by 90 greenhouses going so we can produce even more of our food. So this is a huge deal to get this done before the first snowfall. Once the snow falls and the ground starts freezing up, you can't dig anymore. You're kind of at a standstill till next spring. So very important. My last thing at 60 days out, I really want to start focusing on is just kind of like consolidating our little piles here. If you guys, have acreage, you have a homestead, you know that of course you just need places to put things, right? And that's not a big deal in the summertime. Okay, you can have little piles here and there and everywhere. However, what happens when winter comes, like let's say for a pile like this, is once it gets buried in snow, you don't know what it is anymore. This here will end up just being this huge mystery lump in the snow and you won't know what it is anymore. So when winter comes, and this is what I'm walking around kind of eyeballing all of our little piles, we need to work on consolidating, picking stuff up, cleaning up, getting all the little bits of trash picked up, tarps, just all the bits of things like this kind of picked up, cleaned up. So when Jeff has to go do the blowing, when the snow piles up, he's not, sucking that sort of thing up into his blower, and just kind of a nice little trash patrol too. So that's on my radar to kind of work on next. Again, just consolidate our stuff, our piles. Like around the mill here, we need to kind of clean up the scrap lumber here, and again, just kind of tidy up a little bit more before snow comes. Once the snow comes, you just cannot see what is on the ground anymore. So still about 60 days out, have plenty of time, but my mind is already going to slowly preparing for winter. And so now what I'm going to do is cut this video and start editing so I can get it out to you guys on Saturday. So stay tuned. There will be plenty more winter prep coming up on our videos. And until then, thanks for joining, guys. See you on the next video. Bye, guys.